like to call this special meeting of the North Carolina Marine Fisheries Commission meeting March 8th, 2022 to order. First off, I need to read North Carolina General Statute 138A 15E, which mandates at the beginning of any meeting of a board, the chair shall remind all members of their duty to avoid conflicts of interest under Chapter 138. The chair also shall inquire as to whether there is any known conflict of interest with respect to any matters coming before the board at that time. Does anybody see any conflicts of interest for them conducting business at this meeting? There being none, I'd like to also ask y'all to reflect on North Carolina General Statute 143B 289.54.G2, which takes the conflict of interest a little step further. With that being done, Laura, would you do a roll call, please?
Yes, Chairman. Commissioner Cross?
Here.
Commissioner Blanton?
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Hendrickson?
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Cornegie?
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner McNeil?
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Posey?
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Roller?
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Romanos?
Here.
Thank you. And Chairman Bizzle?
Here.
Thank you.
We have a quorum. We may conduct business. Before you is our brief agenda for today. I'm looking for a motion to approve the agenda as written. And please identify yourself.
So moved.
Who is that?
Tom Roller.
Tom Roller makes a motion to approve the agenda. Is there a second?
It's Robert, I'll second it.
Okay, Robert McNeil seconds it. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, just say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda approved without dissension. Okay, we are here doing this seemingly never-ending chase on our rulemaking and readoption. And I assume Catherine is with us. So, Catherine, if you are, please take us through what we're doing today, please.
So, Chairman Bizzle, I believe that Sean may be ready to do that for you on this item. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Sean, please.
And I apologize because that means we will have gone since November from actually hearing from Catherine. So you'll get to hear more from me instead. But as we talked about in February, the joint rules that you all have shared authority for with the Wildlife Resources Commission are due to be readopted, and that we had been unable to resolve our differences with wildlife over those rules and got guidance from the governor's office as far as a path forward on making sure that those rules stay in place, and that we will then commit to working more closely together with wildlife to come up with a set of joint rules that better reflects everyone's understanding of that. So the first step in that process is going to be today, moving forward with approving the fiscal note and with approving the notice of text for the readoption of 15A NCAC 03Q 0101 through 0109 with no changes. And that is by design. That is because that allows us to use the existing fiscal analysis that's already been approved by OSBM, and that means that we can move forward with this process in a timely manner so that we can make our June 30th, 2022 deadline. So this is actually the same action that this commission took back in August of 2021. And so this should all look very familiar. It's certainly not the first or even the third time that this has come before you. And so I think with that, unless there are any questions, I would recommend for the commission at the direction of the governor's office that the commission approve the notice of text and the fiscal note for 15A NCAC 03Q 0101 through 0109.
This is Pete.
Any questions?
I would move that we accept what Sean just read to us.
This is Martin
Okay,
Posey. I'll second that.
Okay, Pete Carnegie made the motion, Martin Posey seconded it. Further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, can we
Motion.
do a roll call vote for me?
Sure, if you prefer that, that'll be fine. Laura, would you do a roll call, please?
Yes, Chairman. And I'm going to put the motion up on the screen
Not doing me
to
any
make
good.
sure we're clear. All right. So hopefully everyone can see that, and I'll go ahead with the roll call vote.
Okay.
Commissioner Croft?
Aye.
We're a little slow getting started, but I promise we'll get going. Commissioner Blanton? Thank you. Commissioner Hendrickson? Commissioner Hendrickson?
Aye.
Come back to him. There you go.
Thank you. Commissioner Cornegie?
Aye.
Commissioner McNeil?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Posey?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Roller?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Romano?
Aye.
Thank you. And Chairman Bizzle?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion passes without dissension. And Sean, would you take us to our next agenda item, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the second item on the agenda today is somewhat related to the first, although it's a little bit different. It is a time-sensitive issue. The Wildlife Resources Commission, in addition to their work on the joint rules, has also put forward, I believe it's 59 new rules, new and/or amended rules, their most recent publication in the North Carolina Register. While those rules that they put forward are not joint and therefore are not going to be subject to approval by the Marine Fisheries Commission, there is some potential for overlap with at least what has traditionally been DMF and the Marine Fisheries Commission's view of its authority in joint waters. And so what this next action item is essentially a request to submit a public comment to the Wildlife Resources Commission on behalf of the Marine Fisheries Commission. And what I would anticipate with that would be a letter from the chairman, who I would certainly work with, and we can work with staff to articulate the concerns or potential overlaps or issues that might be created with the rule language that Wildlife has proposed. I know that staff has already been working on identifying and highlighting those same concerns that they have seen from DMF's perspective, and this would be a parallel track for providing feedback to the Wildlife Resources Commission, because like I said, these are not joint rules, and so they're not ones that will be put before you for approval before they go into effect, but I think there is the potential there for some significant overlap or conflict potentially with the way that the Marine Fisheries Commission has regulated these areas in the past. And I would anticipate that this might be part of a larger discussion that we'll have with Wildlife after we get past the readoption of the 9 joint rules. Is one of the kind of foundational disagreements that we have with Wildlife is very much wrapped up in the rule language and the interpretation of that. So what we'd be asking for is the leeway to submit a letter to Wildlife Resources Commission on behalf of the commission from the chairman that will articulate those concerns for them, because we won't necessarily get another opportunity to do something like this with the language that they put forward.
Questions to Sean?
Sean,
If
this is
not-
Robert.
Go ahead.
Are those specific concerns outlined in the material that we were sent? I was trying to find that.
So let me see. And we have not gotten through in detail. I can tell you what the sort of the overarching concern is.
Yeah.
And that is we have like I said, a fundamental disagreement, I think, with wildlife about authority for hook and line fishing in joint waters. That has traditionally been understood to be a shared authority. And with this latest round of revisions to the joint rules, that has sparked some renewed interest on their behalf, and they have put forward the idea that they have exclusive jurisdiction over hook and line fishing in joint waters. That doesn't necessarily line up with the existing management practices that are out there. And I think in terms of discussion with staff, would be a departure from the way things have been traditionally done, and certainly is not consistent with the department's understanding with an advisory opinion that was issued by my office. And so I think that's an issue that likely gets at least discussed, if not resolved, as part of the additional negotiations we're going to have over the joint rules. But this is rule language that is out there right now. It's certainly informed by and contemplates actions being taken that would that only makes sense if you agree with the presumption that they have exclusive hook and line authority. So that's a pretty long answer to say we've got sort of a fundamental disagreement. These rules are all an outflow of that belief. And it may be something that gets resolved as part of the joint rules, but we don't want to necessarily miss our opportunity to provide that feedback at this stage.
Right. Yeah. Sounds like we need to work towards a hard line instead of having joint waters. I think that was mentioned at some point, but be interesting to see where this goes.
That is an option.
Thanks, Sean.
Okay, any other questions? If not, Chair is looking for a motion. Chair is looking for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
You need Sean.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Mike Blanton. I moved to, and I'm trying to find language in my head. Sean, did you have any language prepared? And I would be glad to read that right off.
I had not prepared anything in writing, but I can certainly help you. I think what we'd be looking for is motion to have the chairman send a letter of public comment to the Wildlife Resources Commission regarding, and actually it looks like we do have some language up there.
I've got some language to read here that I think we might agree with. So I move to submit public comment for proposed NC Wildlife Resources Commission rules in 15A NCAC 10C as published in the January 18th, 2022 issue of the NC Register.
Okay. Does that get us, Sean, what we need?
Roller seconds.
Okay. Sean, does that get us what we need?
Yep, I think with the understanding that that feedback will come, or that public comment will come as a letter from you on behalf of the commission.
Yes. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, I guess you want a roll call vote on this too, Sean?
That would be great.
All right, let's do that. Laura, please.
Yes, Chair. All right, Commissioner Cross,
Aye.
Commissioner Blanton, thank you. Commissioner Hendrickson,
Aye.
thank you. Commissioner Cornegie,
Aye.
thank you. Commissioner McNeil,
Aye.
thank you. Commissioner Posey,
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Roller?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Romano?
Aye.
Thank you. And Chairman Bizzle?
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion passes without dissension. I want to thank you all for taking time out of your day to do this bit of housekeeping, important housekeeping work. And as there is no other business to be brought before this meeting, I deem it adjourned. Thank you all. Have a good day.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank y'all.